What's up, guys? So today I've got a new video. It's going to be an announcement video of some news, some product drops, some updates as far as the shop goes, and also in regards to the new tariffs and everything like that as far as the parts go that are provided on the website currently. So first up, I'll start out with the trigger since we have it out right here. I got a new restock of the Spring Custom S triggers. So this is the latest 2025 version of the Spring Customs S trigger, and that will be on the website. Currently, it's not really a restock; it's a new stocking, new part stocking. So it's the 9.4s. There isn't really any changes compared to the 9.3s, so you're not missing out on anything if you had the 9.3s. It's just the next version of the Springer Customs trigger. This trigger is in stock and is compatible with VSR spec rifles. I also have the L96 MB01 version for the Springer Customs S trigger, and then I have the SSG24 S triggers as well that'll be available. I got a restock of the L96 MB01, so there's plenty available in case you're interested in a new 90-degree trigger for your new sniper rifle build, whatever you decide to go with. As far as triggers, I've got Springer Customs back in stock and ready to go, ready to ship out. One of the things I wanted to cover with triggers is the price will go up. You guys all know about the new tariffs that were going on, so I've had more fees and import fees and taxes and stuff like that as far as bringing those new parts in so we could have them within the US. So shipping within the US will be much easier for you guys. You guys won't have to go out and pay those fees. I already paid them already because I buy everything in bulk, and then I'm able to sell them as a retailer shop, and that's why I'm able to price them at the price when I can and save you guys money and save you guys time as far as like shipping durations are going to go down, so it won't take as long to be manufactured. On top of that, it won't take as long to get shipped to you, especially if you're within the US. So keep that in mind if you're buying from me compared to if you're buying from like an EU retailer or a UK retailer. If you're in the US, I would recommend just buying from me because it's going to be cheaper, faster shipping, and you won't have to pay all the fees on top of all of that. So keep that in mind. But as far as the pricing goes, I originally had these priced at $140 for a long time, for a good, for the first about 8 months. I had it priced at $140 for the exact trigger you see here. That's going to change. It's going to change from $140. It's going to go up to $160. That's kind of the base price as far as the whole market goes. As far as like zero triggers go, 90-degree triggers, another term for it, but that trigger for the VSR spec rifle is kind of at the $160, $150 range, depending on where you get it. And like if you're getting it from Evic, I'll even just show it right here on the website. I've got it right here pulled up. $160 for the Action Army trigger. I personally wouldn't recommend it. In my previous experiences, I've broken 2 of those triggers way back in the day, back in middle school, testing those triggers, and they just never worked well, and I'm not going to go back to those, and I'm not going to have them available on the website. I will have other Action Army parts because I do think Action Army does have quality parts. As far as the trigger goes, not so much. So yeah, they're the same price and you get the piston included, but I'd rather have a reinforced stainless steel customizable trigger that is proven to work with 1 jewel builds all the way up to 3 jewel builds and probably beyond that, but I haven't tested that, so keep that in mind. It's been tested with higher velocities, higher jewel points, higher FPS points, but that 1 to 3 jewel mark, this trigger is perfect for, and that's usually field limits across the board in worldwide pretty much, especially in the US. 2.8 joules, 2.3 joules is usually where you want to stay, and this trigger is perfect for that. And I've had this trigger for years now and haven't broken one, haven't had issues with one, haven't needed to replace parts on one, so that's why I recommend this trigger over something like this. Even though yes, you get more bang for your buck, you get a piston included, but keep in mind the long-term use. If you're going to be using this long-term, you're not going to want to have to keep replacing your trigger. You just want one trigger and then it'll last you forever. This goes for even the PDI triggers at 160 without the piston included. They're at 160 right now. So even PDI, Action Army, and then even the Flux triggers, they're not even available in the US right now. They're only available in EU or UK, which you're going to be paying import fees. You're going to be having longer shipping, and it's, you know, going to cost more with all of those fees included with the shipping and the import fees and all that. So keep that in mind if you're buying overseas and you're buying the Flex trigger. Yes, it's priced lower than that 160 mark, but in the end you're going to be paying more. So that's why I try to have these parts available for you in the US, so you're not paying all of those excessive fees that you don't necessarily need. This trigger, like I said, highly recommended. I'll break it out of the box to show you that these are the 9.4s, if you can see from this angle. So there's the 9.4 mark. So yeah, it's solid, and it's ready to go, ready to be shipped. And it's not, I'm not saying that I wouldn't recommend the Flex trigger, but if you know you're wanting to get a trigger within the US and it's at a local retailer within the US, these triggers are available and they're ready to go to whoever is interested in these triggers. Now as far as the website news that I want to cover, it's not really new news. I had this policy in place for a while. I want to cover it again, just in a video format, so you guys know what my refund policy is and return policy. So returns are accepted within 14 days, but it's only for defective items out of the box. Keep that in mind. Items marked as final sale, you'll see that on the description of the part you depend on, whatever part you decide to go with. You'll see the disclosure at the bottom. If it is a final sale item, it's not non-refundable, just due to the fact of the cost of it, getting it replaced and getting it shipped back, and the fees involved. It's going to cost way more to replace it than it would be to, you know, get it in the first place. So I'm going to be spending more to just ship you a new one. So it's in the end, it's not possible to do it and make it easy enough and accessible for you guys to get that part replaced. That's why I personally, you're just gonna have to trust me. Honestly, that's what it comes down to. You're gonna have to trust me to QC the triggers when I get them shipped out to you. Otherwise, you know, don't buy the trigger. But I check them and I know how they are used and I know how they function, so I'm able to, before I ship them, know and make sure that they're working properly before they're shipped. So even if they're marked as final sale, they will be in the, you know, the same level of quality that you see on the website on the pictures. That's what you'll get when you get it shipped to you, so don't worry about any of that. If it is a final sale item, there's only like 6 or 7 final sale items, including the new build service tab. Those are non-refundable as well, just because it's a service. I can't really refund that. And the ones that are the rifles shipped that I pre-build, shipped within the US, those are also final sale, just because they're pre-built. I know they work and function. I've tested them myself. I always send videos and stuff to beforehand. If someone emails me and is like interested, I show them exactly what they're getting beforehand, so they know it's going to run properly as soon as you get it. So that isn't an issue. So that's why it's non-refundable. So keep that in mind. Another thing to expect is if it is within the 14 days and it's out of the box, like the first day you get it out of the box, the box is damaged, let's say, and then some of the parts are missing or some of the parts are just gone, which has happened already, and the UPS, well, I shouldn't call it the driver, but it was UPS. The package was completely opened up, and they took a picture of it and sent it as proof of delivery. Literally, no joke. And I mean, there's nothing I did wrong and there's nothing the customer did wrong, so I was able to replace the part for them. And that's something that within those 14 days, that's something that I can easily refund for you. So if something like that ever comes up, that's refundable under the policy. So yeah, and then the -5% restocking fee, just depending on the refund. If you're wanting just a full refund, you don't even want to replace, you just want the full refund, keep in mind there will be a 5% restocking fee if it is a full refund, because I have to pay for the what's the fee called, the processing fee through the provider that I use for my shop. So that's another thing to keep in mind if you want just a flat out full refund. If you do see something missing and you want a full refund, you'll have to ship all those parts back. If it's just one part and it was missing or broken, you're gonna have to ship that back to me, and then 5% restocking fee. Anything that gets, seized at customs or seized by your border patrol, anything like that, there's nothing I can do with like a customs issue. At that point, once it's shipped and out of my hands, it's your responsibility to keep that in mind, that it needs to get to you, and you're going to have to pay whatever fee it is to get it to you, because there is going to be costs added to get that item to you in most cases. Another thing is, if your country for whatever reason doesn't allow the part that I'm shipping to you, it's also your responsibility to know your country's rules and regulations regarding airsoft, because certain countries have stricter rules, which sucks, but it's something we have to work through as as the airsoft industry grows. We need to work with some of those other countries that have harsher regulations. I think there shouldn't be such harsh regulations in the first place, but I don't make those rules and regulations, so it's not up to me. It's up to your country and how you go about placing an order. You need to know firsthand what you're ordering and if it's allowed in your country, because I do not take responsibility for that. Lastly, on the return and refunds, and also cancelations. I have canceled quite a bit of orders just because of the fact of scammers and just fraudulent people that I find that based on evidence of the order place, billing addresses is not matching up, shipping address is not matching up, things like that, I will cancel the order. I don't want to deal with that. I want to make sure the parts that I have are going to someone who's actually going to use the part. This is not going to try and scam me and trying to get some sort of profit out of me shipping an item to them and then them asking for a refund, not shipping it back, things like that. I don't want to run into any scam issues or fraudulent issues in regards to that. So if I see something that's like off, I'll first email you or send you a message or even call you. I've called people because your number's on file sometimes, so I will call and I'll just ask, like, what you're buying, like, is this a legitimate order? Did you order this? And then I want the confirmation. As long as I go back and forth and realize, okay, this is legit, I'll send the product out. But until that happens, this rarely happens, keep in mind, but if it does happen, I do take those precautions beforehand, and if it leads to the point where I think it is fraud or a scammer, I will cancel the order. So I reserve the rights to that, so that's just a heads up. That's just a heads up that that will happen if you are looking to scam or decide to do some sort of fraud. I'm not about that, and I want the parts that I have in stock to go to someone who actually wants the parts and is going to utilize the parts in a build. So I don't want to waste people's time, and I don't want to waste my own personal parts for that. Okay, so that is the refund policy, and then shipping policy. Everything's shipped within 1 business day. So keep in mind, weekends are not business days for the post office. So 1 to 5 business days, which is usually Monday through Friday, those are business days. So like if you order on Saturday night, which has happened, and then you expect it to get shipped out 1 business day, It's not going to get shipped out Saturday night at 10 p.m. It's not going to get shipped out on Sunday at all. It's going to get shipped out on Monday morning, first thing in the morning. But if you order, on a Tuesday at like 2 p.m., it's going to get shipped out Wednesday morning. That's within the 1 business day time frame, so keep that in mind. 1 business day does not mean it'll get to you in 1 business day. The packages within the U.S. will take up to 4 to 7 business days. So that means, Monday through Friday, and then Monday and Tuesday of the next week. That's 4 to 7 business days, or 5 to 7 business days technically, because I said Monday through Friday and then Monday and Tuesday. So that's 7 business days. That's a week's worth of days that I can actually ship an item to you. So that is what the shipping that I purchase is, the time frame within that. The only 2 states that disregard that, it could be longer, it could even be shorter, but it has happened with Hawaii and Alaska. The shipping took longer than the week period. It was like a week and a half. But sometimes a shipment to Hawaii actually took 4 business days, which was pretty crazy. So it fluctuates, but those 2 states, do have their longer durations of shipping. But usually it's shipped out within 4 days, you'll receive your part. That's the average, I would say. Most people get their parts within 4 days. So I ship it out within 1 business day, and then you pretty much wait 4 days and you'll get your parts. Anything outside the U.S., there's a higher cost, just because international shipping is going to cost more just because of the tariffs and all that. So there is the added fee. Right now it's at $40. That could go up very soon. Keep that in mind. So it'll probably be higher now, but that shipping fee is so I can be able to ship that internationally to you. If you're interested in any of my parts that are on the shop, that's up to you. But keep in mind, any of those fees that are import fees are your responsibility to pay for, not mine. If your parts are stuck in customs and you have to pay a fee and you ask me, hey, can you pay this fee? I'm not going to pay it. So it'll either get stuck at where it's at, and if it gets shipped back to me, then your transaction will be canceled. I will get reimbursed for nothing. Your order is going to be pretty much redundant. It's not gonna go through, and there's nothing we can do at that point. I can't ship it to you if you're not going to be willing to pay that fee that makes clearance to your country. So at that point, it's out of my hands, and there's no refund. It's your responsibility, like I said, to know your rules and regulations. What was the other thing I was going to go over? So I've been saying a lot about the increased prices for the trigger. There's going to be increased prices for Edgy products, which is a hint. I have parts coming in from him, and those parts are going to be a little bit higher than normal just because of the this right here. So you can see here, good old Novich here. There's Joseph, and he's going over the import tariffs, expected increase. This is just an email that I got directly from Novich. I'm sure some of you guys have gotten the email too. Every retailer within the U.S. is dealing with that right now. So prices will increase. Not all my prices will increase, but as far as Springer and Edgy, they're going to be increased immediately as of now. Anything else that comes in as far as shipments go will be increased as according to what I see fit, as far as what I have to pay extra as far as the tariffs and import fees and custom fees and taxes and stuff like that. So for now, it's just Springer and Edgy. The one thing I wanted to cover as well with that is, let's see here, it was this, and then, oh yeah, so there's the tariff fees that you'll have to pay, and then the reason behind that is mostly because of, what's going on as far as like getting product out of state. So most retailers right now are getting parts from either Taiwan, distributors from China, obviously, or Japan, or those are like the three major ones. A lot of you guys already know, you look at your box, it says made in Taiwan. That's the majority of airsoft products. They're made in Taiwan. Most of the products I have are not made in Taiwan, China, or Japan. They're made in other countries, but they will have that increased fee because of the tariffs to get those in. Like a distributor like Evic, yeah, they're within the U.S., just like I'm within the U.S., but they're getting parts outside of the country to bring them in. That's most of the airsoft industry. They're getting parts outside of the country. So yes, they're U.S. based, but they're still getting all their parts outside of the U.S. So if even parts that are made in the U.S. are getting materials outside of the U.S., so even their prices will probably increase as well. So keep that in mind. As far as the price in the airsoft industry are going to go up, and that is bad news, but it is what it is. That's what we're working with right now. It's going to take a long time probably to even out, but I could be completely wrong. I'm just taking a guess here, but if things stay the same for a good 6 months, even to a year, even if it's just 6 months, its prices will be higher than normal. So yeah, that's unfortunate, but there's not a whole lot of manufacturing based in the U.S. just because it costs so much more to manufacture in the U.S. with U.S. materials. It's just costly, and it's more effective to source those materials and parts outside and then assemble it within the U.S. In some cases, like the flex trigger, it was designed in the U.S., but it's not made in the U.S. That's a misconception, but there's nothing wrong with the flex trigger. I think it's a cool trigger. A lot of people have had good things about it, but it's not like made in the U.S. It's still a Chinese-made product. It's designed by a U.S. company, NAMEC, but you're still having to get those parts outside of the country and into the U.S. and then distributed throughout wherever the distribution is going, wherever it is. I'm upfront about the parts. I'm getting them outside and bringing them in the U.S. so they're more accessible within the U.S. so people can get them easier, faster shipping, and they're cheaper. When I buy them in bulk and I have them in a retail shop, I can just send them out and still be able to stay afloat and be able to keep bringing in more parts and keep the shop going as far as that goes. So yeah, so that's why there's increases in prices right now. A lot of those parts, like I said, are increasing, and guns as well are increasing. So keep that in mind. Just a little bit of information I wanted to bring to you and bring to light in this video. I'm still bringing in more parts. Like I said, I just brought in Springer, brought in Action Army a month ago, and then 2 months before that, like twice within this year. So it was like January and March, I brought in Action Army. Then I brought in Springer again. I brought in a whole new parts list from Tritos. A huge order from Tritos, so we're fully stocked on Tritos as far as that goes, even as far as like barrel spacers, all the way to your cylinder tool. It's restocked as far as Tritos goes, so we're good to go on Tritos. And Edgy's on the way. Like I said, by the time of this posting of this video, we'll see if it's here or not. Let's hope for the best, but it will have an increased price just due to what's going on right now with tariffs. So that's pretty much all I have for this video. Oh, last thing, for VSR1 guys out there, I know there's not many, but I particularly am a fan of it at the moment, and I really like the platform because obviously it's VSR spec, but it's also its own proprietary kind of version of a VSR spec rifle, but it's pretty sweet. And I have a new part that will be completely new to the website for the VSR1 specifically. So I'm gonna end it on that note. I'm looking forward to that personally, and hopefully you're looking forward to the new restocking of the Springer triggers and a restocking of a bunch of different edgy parts that'll be in soon. So you guys take care and have a great day.